And over the past few days, many of us have been looking up to the sky. A rare sight is catching the eyes of astronomers and space enthusiasts, and you can only have a few more days to see it. Our Mike Yawney is learning more about the comet NEOWISE. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Mary. Good morning. Have you seen the photos on social media of NEOWISE?
I have seen it. Yeah, I haven't seen it in person because I go to bed pretty early, so I've been missing it. But the photos look pretty cool.
They are incredible. This is such a fascinating topic because, we hear about comets all the time. Halley's Comet, of course, one of the most famous comets. But scientists say no, these comets are kind of coming around. But this is the really cool thing about NEOWISE. This just came on their radar in March. It goes by the name C2020F3. But as I said, it doesn't really roll off the tongue. So they call it NEOWISE after the satellite that discovered it. And so this is fairly new on the research, on the radar for researchers. It's fascinating. This comet is about 150 million kilometers away from Earth, and Mary, it's only about 3 kilometers wide. So you might be wondering, how on earth are you able to see a comet that small, that far away with the naked eye? And I mean, that's the big thing. You can see this with the naked eye. You don't need a telescope. You don't need binoculars. People have been snapping photos with their iPhone, with their other devices, and that's because we're not actually seeing the comet itself. As it gets close to the sun, and I'm learning this all, by the way, I'm not an astronomer. I'm learning this all from a doctor standing by here next to me at the Rothney Observatory here just outside of Calgary. But he was saying that debris starts to break off and melt as it gets close to the sun. And it creates an atmosphere around the comet and a tail that is many, many, many kilometers long. And so we're actually not seeing the comet, we're seeing the atmosphere that the comet is creating as it's starting to melt. It's pretty fascinating. And the other thing is that we're pretty lucky in Canada we get to see this. The further south you go, you can't see this. Some of the top states, the northern states, will be able to see it, but really Canadians are getting the best view of NEOWISE over the next few days. And that's the thing you have to keep in mind too. It's only around for probably another week or two max, and then it's going to be going away into the distance, and that means it's going to get a little bit colder. That means less melting, less burning, and as it gets further away, it's going to be harder to see. And I want to point out that yes, you in Vancouver can see it too. You want to wait about an hour after sunset, and you want to look to the northwest and about 20 degrees up. Now, if you're living in downtown Vancouver, you probably want to go to the burbs a little bit further, but you can see it with the naked eye, and that's the coolest part about this.
Wow, okay, I'll be heading to my cousin's this weekend. She has a telescope, so I'll be sure to take a look, and I'll try to stay up past 9 o'clock.
You don't even need the telescope. That is the cool thing. And I want to say, try to see it if you can, because once it gets out of distance and out of eyesight, it's not going to come around for another 6,500 years. So it really is a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Incredible. I had no idea Canadians had the best view. How lucky are we? That's incredible.
Prime seats, right?
Prime seats, front row viewing. Okay, thank you so much, Mike Yawney, for joining us this morning.